Inside the imperial castle, Ria's attention shifted when she noticed the Duchess quietly coughing. Concern immediately surfaced, and she checked on her condition. The Duchess, however, reassured her with a gentle smile, insisting it was nothing more than a lingering cough even after having tea. Despite it, she urged them to move quickly, reminding them that the Empress was waiting. Not long after, they arrived at the Imperial Garden, where the gathering was being held. The Empress acknowledged their arrival at once, addressing the Duchess of Ellard with calm authority. The Duchess responded with proper decorum, offering a respectful greeting before being invited to take a seat nearby. Among those present, an imperial princess recognized Dana and greeted her warmly, asking if she had been well. Dana responded simply, but the moment did not remain peaceful for long. The princess's attention shifted. Her gaze landed on Ria. With deliberate intent, she let a knife slip from her hand, allowing it to fall to the ground. Her expression carried a faint, knowing smile, as if waiting for something to happen. Ria immediately understood. This was no accident. The act was meant to force her into a position of submission, to make her bow. Though they had never met before, the hostility was clear. Ria suppressed her thoughts, deciding that for now, compliance was the safest path. She began to move to pick up the knife. But before she could, Dana rushed forward and grabbed it first. With innocent sincerity, Dana handed it back to the princess. The princess accepted it, acknowledging Dana politely, but her gaze quickly returned to Ria. There was a subtle sharpness in her words as she pointed out that while her mistress had bent down, Ria had remained standing. Understanding the situation, Ria lowered herself into a respectful bow and admitted fault. Internally, she reminded herself to remain cautious. Any misstep here could bring unnecessary trouble to the ducal house. Staying quiet and composed was the only option. The tension in the air gradually shifted as other guests began speaking. A noblewoman brought up news of an engagement, offering congratulations to Lady Ferial, who accepted them graciously. The conversation flowed naturally into another topic, this time focusing on the imperial princess herself, who would soon come of age, yet remained without a fiancé. Then the attention turned again, this time toward Dana. A young lady from the Amber Count house introduced herself and began speaking about Lucio. She highlighted his achievements, mentioning his consistent top ranking at the academy and his early graduation. With his future responsibilities approaching, she suggested that it would be more stable for him to have a partner. Dana, caught off guard, could only respond with confusion. The meaning of the question had not yet fully reached her, but the implication lingered clearly in the air. The conversation had shifted toward Lucio's future marriage. The conversation in the Imperial Garden continued, and attention soon returned to Dana. The princess gently directed a question toward her, asking what kind of person her brother should marry and what kind of sister-in-law she would like. Dana paused to think. Then, with a bright and innocent smile, she answered that she liked someone like Unny. The response caused an immediate reaction. Ria was visibly shaken the moment she heard it, while one of the noble ladies quickly corrected Dinah, reminding her that she should not address a princess in such a familiar way. Dana fell silent, caught in confusion. The princess, however, chose not to take offense. Instead, she allowed it, saying the young lady was still a child and interpreting the remark as a sign of closeness. Dinah, now even more confused, could only react uncertainly. But in Ria's mind, the meaning behind Dana's words was clear. The Unny she referred to was not the princess. Before the thought could settle further, another voice entered the gathering. The Duchess of Payount arrived, offering her apology for being late and greeting those present. As her gaze moved across the group, she suddenly spotted Ria. Her expression brightened instantly as she approached her with clear affection, calling her cute and clever. She excitedly mentioned that a gift would be waiting for her back at the ducal house. Ria, surprised, questioned it. The Duchess of Payount explained that it was a dessert from the kingdom of Duhamba, something Aiden had woken up early to prepare. It was described as a rare delicacy, something that could only be tasted at the Payount ducal house within the empire. This warm exchange did not go unnoticed. The Empress observed the interaction and pointed out how frequently the Duchess of Payount had been visiting the Ellard estate, questioning whether she had grown close to a mere maid. The Duchess of Payount responded without hesitation, affirming the closeness but correcting the assumption. Rhea, she explained, was no ordinary maid. She was the one who pioneered the cultivation of Splencia. That revelation stirred the gathering. Other noblewomen began to speak, recognizing the name. Splencia was known as a legendary medicinal herb, rumored to cure any disease. The idea that such a thing truly existed drew amazement, and soon admiration followed. They spoke of Rhea's brilliance despite her young age, praising not only her talent but her charm as well. As the attention around Rhea grew, another reaction quietly unfolded. Dana, watching from the side, became visibly displeased as the Duchess of Payount continued to hold on to Rhea. Unable to hide her feelings any longer, she suddenly stood up and announced that she needed to go to the bathroom. Rhea immediately responded, offering to step out with her. The Duchess of Payount allowed it, telling Rhea to go ahead and return afterward. Inside the imperial castle, Rhea and Diana stepped away toward the bathroom, walking side by side through the long corridors. Rhea gently reminded her to be careful, noting that her dress was longer than usual. Dana responded brightly, her voice full of ease and cheer. As they walked, Rhea's thoughts lingered on what had just happened. Because of the Duchess of Payount, the gazes directed at her had softened, if only slightly. And yet one thing continued to trouble her. Why had Surfin shown such wariness toward her? It felt strange that someone of the princess's status would even be aware of her existence. The thought lingered uneasily. Unable to ignore it, Rhea carefully asked Dana if, during her previous visit to the imperial palace, she had ever mentioned her. Dana quickly denied it, explaining that she had avoided talking about her sister to people she found frightening. But then, she brought up Alan. Rhea immediately reacted inwardly, bracing herself, wondering what he might have said this time. Dana explained that Alan had praised her. He had spoken about how smart she was, how she read difficult books, and how Lucio had given her a library key and instructed her to study diligently. That was enough. Rhea fell silent, but her thoughts began to piece everything together. It became clear to her what had likely happened. Surfin's interest lay with Lucio. Becoming a duchess was not the end goal. Her true ambition was far greater. As the direct heir of the emperor and empress, she aimed for the position of empress, someone who would wield strong imperial authority. For that, her future consort needed to be someone capable of granting her immense power. Whether that desire came purely from ambition or held even a trace of something more, Rhea could not yet tell. But one thing was certain. Alan's careless words had made her stand out. To someone like Surfin, Rhea had become a nuisance. Just a maid, favored by the younger sister. As they made their way back toward the gathering, the calm atmosphere shifted abruptly. Voices rose ahead of them, urgent and alarmed. Someone called for a physician immediately. Another voice demanded to know what was happening. Rhea's steps quickened as unease gripped her. In her mind, questions surfaced rapidly. What had happened? Had someone fallen ill? Then she saw it. Her gaze landed on the Duchess, and in that instant, everything else faded. Horror took over as Rhea rushed forward, calling out to her.
Hi, this is Winter. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Winter Manhwa for more exciting recaps every week. Your support means the world. See you in the next one.